When it comes to dieting, weight loss, getting shredded, getting jacked, whatever you want to call it, there are two things that I am absolutely certain of. Number one, yes, all foods can be enjoyed in moderation as part of any nutrition plan. You don't have to 100% cut any foods out of your diet. Having said that, number two, that doesn't mean that you have to enjoy these foods. Now there is a number three, but I'm going to save that one till a little bit later. That is a little rule, a little change that you can make, a change that I made a long time ago that helped me take my physique to the next level by making it easier to hit my nutrition goals without giving in to temptation. In this video, I want to talk about the fact that you do not need to overcomplicate this process. You will see as you're scrolling, swiping through Instagram, through TikTok, all these nutrition gurus telling you that you can basically eat what you want but still lose weight and still reach your physique goals. You can train once a week, you can train twice a week, basically do what you want, and with their guidance you are still going to meet your goals. It's kind of bullshit, and I'll tell you why. Because whilst what they are saying is not necessarily false, they are selling their product, they are selling their service kind of by misleading you down the wrong path, by telling you what you want to hear and not what you need to hear. Now this video is an attack on trainers. I'm a trainer myself, I coach people myself. Having said that, there is a buzzword going around nowadays, accountability. I will provide you with accountability, I will keep you accountable. Well, let me ask you a question, my friends. Number one, how old are you? If you are over about 15 or 16 years old, I would consider you responsible for your own actions. You don't need someone to hold your hand and to tell you what is right and wrong. And number two, why are you seeking out, for example, this type of content, or why are you seeking out the services of a trainer, of a coach, of a mentor in the first place? It's because you have identified a problem and you want to take action. Now, if you are not interested in losing weight, if you are there currently overweight but you're enjoying life, you're loving life, you've got no intention of training, that's absolutely fine, but that is not you watching this video. You are watching this video, and let's say your trainer, your mentor says, you know what, you can enjoy McDonald's once a week. That is absolutely true, you can enjoy McDonald's once a week. However, do you need someone then, if you fall off the wagon and take in a second McDonald's of the week, or if you complement that with a pizza the next day, do you need someone to check in with you via WhatsApp? How did it go today? Sorry mate, I couldn't help myself, I ended up having a pizza. Shouldn't have done that, don't do it again. I appreciate the accountability. You don't need someone to tell you that, it's ridiculous. Yes, if you are looking to overhaul your nutritional habits and you're not sure where to start, of course, consult help. But don't let somebody sell you a service and take your money to basically do what you should be capable of doing yourself in the first place. Because the fact of the matter is, making changes to your nutritional lifestyle, it takes time, it takes effort, and most of all, it takes a lot of sacrifices, because you have probably been indulging in some way which has led you to a place where you require action. You therefore need to pull back on those indulgences. That is where you need to make changes. But because your body has become so accustomed to it, taking in that good stuff, that is where the problem is going to arise. You are going to feel withdrawal, you are going to feel temptation, you are going to feel cravings, and it's how you manage those cravings and it's how you manage that withdrawal which will determine whether you are successful or not. The key thing to remember is, the further you go down the road, the easier it gets. So it's that first stage of the journey that is most difficult. So here is what I am going to suggest. Number three, as I alluded to earlier, is you need to stop thinking about food in some sort of emotional way, giving food power over you, giving food power in the sense of reward or comfort. And you need to start thinking of food as fuel for your body. I'm going to take it one step further, geezers, because that's a little bit of a throwaway sentence. Food is fuel. It's a little bit of a throwaway. But how about this? How about you approach every meal as simply a way to fuel your body to the next meal? Let's talk about how you're going to do that. You're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to have a super simple breakfast. Keep it simple. Don't start cooking anything. For me, a bowl of oats, all right, yeah, you need to cook the oats, but you're not preparing food. A bowl of oats for carbohydrates. A banana, get something a little bit sweet on board. A protein powder or a protein shake. That'll do you. That'll get you through to lunchtime. Here's the big one, and I think this is the easiest thing in the world, geezers. Before you go and get in the shower in the morning, you're going to put a pan or a pot on the hob, on the stove, whatever you call it in your country. You're going to fill it with hot water, and you are going to prepare your lunch before you get in the shower. Chop up some chicken, chop up some sweet potato, chop up some broccoli, chop up some carrot. Doesn't sound delicious? Don't care. That's called sacrifice. You're going to put it in there. You're going to let it cook for 20, 30 minutes whilst you're getting ready. Let that water evaporate. Make everything nice and soft. Add a bit of salt. Take a sauce if you want. A little bit of sauce ain't going to do too much damage, so take a sauce in your lunchbox. But the reason we're doing this is, number one, because that's good quality nutrition. But number two, we are going to eliminate temptation. If you go into your office and you've got your food for the day in your bag, get in the fridge, keep it cool, you've got a microwave, you can warm it up, that is going to eliminate the need to go out of the office to a supermarket where the marketing gods have put a chocolate bar next to the cashier and you're thinking, I just have a little chocky after I eat lunch. These are the sort of decisions that not necessarily throw you off track, but you don't even think about them really. Like, oh, I got a salad, but I also had a chocolate bar. You're kind of negating all the good work you're doing. If you're not in a situation where you can be tempted, then that temptation isn't there to pull you in. And it doesn't stop there, because I'm going to assume that if you are on a health kick, you are trying to get jacked, lean and shredded, you're also going to want to go to the gym. I suggest that every time you go to the gym, you go straight from work. And in order to do that, we're going to need to bring a little bit of afternoon nutrition with us, whether that be a protein shake, protein powder that you can add something to make it a shake, whether that be, again, my favorite food in the world, bananas. I always used to take a protein shake and a banana, drink and eat that about an hour before I finish, head straight to the gym. I was good to go. I wasn't hungry, I wasn't craving. And then because you've been to the gym and because you've exercised straight from work, you're going to be focused, you're going to be feeling good. Not necessarily going to want to go home and eat a pizza, because you're going to be in that mindset that you can undo all that shit. You see what I'm getting at, guys? If you start planning your day ahead, you are going to be less likely to give in to temptation, be in situations where there are temptations around you. You're going to avoid that shit. You might be thinking to yourself as you listen to me, what, take a bag of food to work, prepare my lunch in the morning? That's inconvenient. Well, you know what's fucking inconvenient? You've got an hour's lunch. You've got to spend 10 minutes walking to the shop, 10 minutes back, 20 minutes gone. You've got to line up. You've got to spend 10, £15 a day to actually get the lunch. These things are inconvenient, geezers. You plan ahead. If you make the smart decisions ahead of time, you are less likely to fall off, because everything is going to be there. Breakfast, ticked, I've already got a healthy breakfast. Lunch, ticked, it's in my bag, don't need to do anything, just need to warm it up and eat it. Afternoon snack, ticked. Workout, ticked. Dinner, well, I've just done a fucking great day of nutrition and training. I'm not going to undo all that now. Ticked. And you know what? It even goes down to those nighttime cravings. I'm aware I get them myself. Plan ahead. Again, get yourself a scoop of protein, get yourself some Greek yogurt, mix it in together, have that with maybe an apple. That's going to hit the spot. It doesn't need to be a chocolate bar, it doesn't need to be a bowl of ice cream, it doesn't need to be a bag of potato chips. You can enjoy those things in moderation, as stated earlier in the video, but the thing is, the people selling you those promises, they're not going to be sat there next to you at nighttime holding your hand throughout the process. They're going to be the ones who give you the obvious, you shouldn't have done that, once you've already done it. So I suggest take that out of the equation. If you want to have a cheat meal at the weekend, one cheat meal, go out of the house, enjoy it, make it an event, and that way you're not bringing temptations into the house. You're not buying a bag of chips for that one bag of chips a week. You're not buying a pizza or 2 pizzas to put in the freezer for that one pizza of the week. You're going to avoid all that shit. You're going to stay focused, you're going to stay on track. Don't let anyone tell you it's easy, guys, but also don't let anyone tell you impossible. I'm going to give you realistic advice. I've lived this shit for 15 years. I've stayed lean, I've made progress, I've stayed jacked at times, and you know what? I've always been happy. I've never felt like I was suffering, because once you make those changes, guys, you don't miss the bad things. Imagine if you're smoking 15, 20 cigarettes a day and somehow you manage to find it inside yourself to stop. I'd be like, oh, it was nice when I smoked, I enjoyed smoking, but you're not going to miss smoking because you know there's a reason you've quit it. Even drinking, I like drinking once a year. I used to drink a lot more, never like over the top, but you know, I used to drink a lot more than I do now. Do I miss it sometimes? Do I miss that buzz of going out and having a fucking top night? Of course I do. I'll do it once a year, twice a year. It ticks the boxes. I don't need to do it every single week. I feel better when I'm not hammering my body, when I'm taking care of my body. Not about having a six pack. It's not about having abs, big muscles, nothing like that. It's about feeling good, feeling strong, feeling healthy, and feeling like you're getting the most out of life, because the worst thing in the world is having a 2-day hangover. You lose the Sunday completely. You wake up at 7 o'clock. You go get some shit food from the convenience store. You get that in. You watch the football at night. United lose again. You wake up on Monday. You've still got a fucking banging headache. You've got to go back to work. You try to get yourself back on track, but you just don't feel good. And the next time you feel good is when you finally pop that pre-workout on Monday night. You get yourself in the gym. It's not your strongest workout in the world, but you're in there, you're sweating, and you know you're going to be okay. You've got a week of training ahead of you where you can make everything right. You know the situation I'm talking about. That is it for this one, geezers. Hope you found this valuable. Remember, the biggest takeaway from this video: food is fuel. Fuel your way from one meal to the other. Don't overeat, don't undereat, to a situation where you know just the right amount. Tick the box and you're going to be just fine. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, guys, and until the next one, bye bye.